All right, everybody, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
You ever just like pick up your insurance paperwork
Oh, yeah.
and
All the time.
just stare at it?
It's like reading a foreign language, right?
Phrase? Premiums, exclusions?
That's crazy.
What does it all mean? Well, that's what we're doing today. We're going to decode some of this crazy insurance jargon
That's right.
so that you can feel confident navigating the world of policies and coverages and all that fun stuff.
Important stuff.
It is important.
Yeah.
And today we are looking at a source.
Yes.
It's called English for the Insurance Industry.
Uh-huh.
Now, that might not sound very interesting.
It doesn't sound like a page turner.
But trust me.
Yeah.
Understanding.
It is.
These basic concepts.
Empowering.
Can be very empowering. So, like, right off the bat, we get hit with all these terms.
Yes.
Like premium.
Deductible.
Claim. Like, what does all this
What are those
even mean?
Yeah, so let's start with premium.
Okay.
I think the easiest way to think about a premium is like a subscription fee.
Oh.
It's what you pay regularly to keep your insurance coverage active. So it could be monthly, could be quarterly, could be annually, but that's the money that you're paying to have the insurance there in case something happens.
Gotcha.
And then we've got the deductible.
Okay.
Now, the deductible is what you pay out of pocket before your insurance kicks in.
Oh, okay.
If you have an incident that's covered.
So let's say, like, I back my car into a pole.
Out.
Hopefully.
Hypothetically, yes.
So that's when my liability coverage would come in.
Right.
But the deductible is the amount that I'd have to pay myself.
That's right.
Before the insurance company starts covering the rest of the damage.
Exactly. It's basically your share of the responsibility.
Oh, okay.
And it's interesting. Choosing a higher deductible can actually lower your premium.
No, really?
But it means you'll pay more up front.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Since you need to make a claim. So it's all about balancing your budget with your risk tolerance.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's not just about blindly accepting the cheapest premium. It's about the
Yes.
bigger picture.
Yeah, think about what could happen.
Exactly.
And what you'd be comfortable paying.
Yeah, and this source also like dives into grammar.
Which is interesting.
You
don't think about grammar with insurance.
Right,
but
who knew?
But it matters.
Right.
Because specific grammatical constructions are really common in insurance.
Okay.
And that's because they create very precise language
Okay.
that's also legally binding.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, for example, you often see a lot of conditional sentences.
Okay.
You know, those if-then statements.
Right.
That spell out exactly when you're covered and not. So things like, if the damage is caused by a covered peril, then the insurer will pay for repairs.
Okay, so that's how they sneak in all the specifics. What about the passive voice?
Oh, the passive voice.
That's another thing.
Yes.
I feel like that's everywhere.
It is.
In policy documents.
Well, the passive voice is often used to describe processes and actions without actually saying who did them.
Right.
So it makes it sound more formal and objective.
Right.
So instead of saying the insurance company denied your claim, they might say your claim was denied.
Oh, I see.
You see the difference there?
Yeah.
It kind of shifts the focus away from the people making the decisions.
That's so interesting. So how do we, as the insured, make sure that we're not just like passively
accepting everywhere.
Passively everywhere. We're told.
Yeah.
How do we communicate effectively with these insurance agents?
That's where being prepared and knowing the right phrases can really help.
Okay.
And the source that we're looking at actually be some really good examples.
Oh, perfect.
So for instance, instead of calling them up and saying, I need to file a claim, you could be more specific and say, I'd like to initiate a claim for damage to my property.
Okay.
Due to, and then you state the reason.
Okay.
Or you could say something like, could you please explain how my deductible applies in this situation?
Ooh, that's a good one.
So just being clear and direct makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to ask for clarification if something's not clear.
Exactly.
You know, insurance language can be complex.
Yeah.
But it's their job to help you understand.
Right.
It's in their best interest for you to understand it.
This deep dive is a real eye-opener.
It's cool stuff.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much power we actually have
we do.
as consumers.
Yes.
When we understand the language that's being used.
Yep.
And the source even mentions like role playing, listening exercises, all these things that we can do.
Yeah, to really drive these points home.
And to practice.
Yeah, practice makes perfect.
Right.
And there are a lot of other resources too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can find information online.
Uh-huh.
Through consumer protection agencies.
Okay.
Sometimes community organizations even offer workshops.
Oh, wow.
On insurance literacy.
So really no excuse.
No excuse.
To be lost and confused.
Nope. We have the information.
Of course.
It's out there.
Now that we've like kind of broken down.
Demystified a little.
Demystified some of these key terms and concepts.
Yeah.
What would you say is like the next step?
Well, I think the next step is for all of you listening. to take a look at your own insurance policies. And now that we've talked about this a little bit, do they make more sense? Yeah. Are you getting the coverage you actually need?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Do you feel comfortable reaching out to your insurance provider with any questions?
Such an important reminder.
Yeah, it is.
Knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And understanding our insurance policies is a crucial step in protecting ourselves.
Just peace of mind.
And our assets.
That's right.
So keep asking those questions.
Yes.
Keep learning.
Great.
And remember, you are in control.
You got this.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For another deep dive.
Yes, this was fun.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
See you later. Bye.
Ciao, mi starter too.